Hello everyone out there, welcome back to my channel, and today we will be looking into an important process, and I'm damn sure about this thing that you must have not noticed this particular process because it is happening not in front of you but you can say at the back of you. But I can assure you this thing that by the end of this video you yourself will going to make sure of this thing that you keep this particular process and its importance in your mind. Apart from that, I am assuring you this thing that by the end of the video you will understand this thing that why this particular process is very important for us, and that is basically our upcoming chapter as well. So let's start with a poem which will going to give you an insight of the chapter. What exactly it is? It says, I am a lion, I need lots of meat. Please don't give me cabbage, carrot, peas or beet. I am a deer, I graze on grass. I will run if I see a tiger, don't get cross. I am a parrot, green and bright. I crack nuts with my beak, aren't I a pretty sight? So basically over here in this particular poem, you can say this thing that different organisms like lion, deer and parrot, they are actually saying this thing that they will not going to have a specific thing, whereas they prefer a certain things over that. For example, in case of lion, it says that it will going to work on the meat, means it is going to love to have meat. On the other hand, in case of deer, it will love to have a grass instead of anything else. On the other hand, the deer is saying that if he is going to see a tiger, he will run like anything. Why is it so? Because we know this thing that right now the deer is talking about his food, but on the other hand, he is saying this thing that if a tiger come across, he will become the food of the tiger. So obviously nobody wants that. On the other hand, the third organism, that is parrot, he is saying that he loves to have nuts and crack them with his beak. On the other hand, we know this thing that parrots are such kind of organisms which love to have green chilies. So what is common among all the three organisms over here, like lion, parrot, deer? They all are talking about their preferences, that what exactly do they like to eat. Yes. So I think now you have an idea that we will be talking about something related with the eating habits or something related with the food. So what exactly are we going to do is we are going to look into the process of food making in case of plants. So what exactly is the process known as? So this process is basically known as photosynthesis. Yes, this particular process, means the food making process in case of plants, itself is considered that it is photosynthesis. Now, as over here you can see in this particular chart over here that it is made up of two important terms, that is photo and synthesis. So let's get into the meaning of these two terms so that we can understand that why this particular process is having a specific name and what is its importance or speciality. Okay, so in case of photo, it simply means light. But what kind of light are we talking about? So we are actually talking about the sunlight. Yes, it is about the sunlight. And what is the other term that we have here? It is synthesis. And what does this mean? It means putting things together or forming things all together. That means it is talking about the mixing and matching of two or more things getting converted into something which is the complete different result of all the raw materials. So what exactly the term photosynthesis means here? That it is basically a process where something will be synthesized, means something will be formed in the presence of sunlight. So what exactly it means and what are the important aspects which are related with the process of photosynthesis and plants. So let's get into it. Now over here we have this particular picture and this particular description which gives you an insight of the process. So first of all we'll look into the definition and then we will coming back to the picture. Now what exactly the definition says? It says that it is basically a process by which green plants, yes, means photosynthesis is related with the green plants. So now I think you can make out that why we have this green leaf over here in the picture. Okay. So it says it is the process by which green plants make their own food, means they are making their own food. They are not dependent on other organisms. Now what are they using for this particular process? They are using carbon dioxide, water, chlorophyll, and they are doing it in the presence of sunlight. And that is why the whole process is known as photosynthesis. Now here comes another aspect, that what exactly are we going to get as a product after the process of photosynthesis. So it says it is glucose and oxygen. So I know this thing, that out of these 6 components, that is carbon dioxide, water, chlorophyll, sunlight, glucose and oxygen, most of you must be knowing about 4 components, that is carbon dioxide. You must be knowing that what exactly it is. Then water, I hope you all know what exactly water is. We have already done that concepts related with water. Then we have sunlight, then we have oxygen. So these are the 4 components. I believe that you must be knowing this thing, but let's recall all those things. Carbon dioxide is the gas which we exhale, and this is the gas which is present in the atmosphere. Same is with the oxygen, but we are not exhaling it, we are inhaling it. And where do we find it? We find it in the atmosphere. Now what exactly is water? This we have done a lot of time. Our previous chapters were based on water only, so I don't need to explain that further. And the last thing, that is sunlight. That is basically the light energy that we getting with the sun, with the help of the sun, the solar energy we are getting from the sun. Now comes the rest of the 2 things, that is chlorophyll and glucose. So chlorophyll is basically a green colored pigment. That means it is going to provide green color to the plant part. On the other hand, when we talk about the glucose, glucose is basically that product, that sugar which is present in the nature, and this particular sugar has the capability of providing instant energy to the body parts for the plants as well as the human beings. So even whatever we are eating, that is also for the fulfilling the requirement of glucose. Now you can say that okay these components over here, they must be having an important role in the whole process, but why is it so that this particular diagram has these arrows in a specific direction, like sunlight, carbon dioxide and water, they are pointing towards the leaf. On the other hand, oxygen, glucose, they are pointing away from the leaf. So the reason behind this is that sunlight, carbon dioxide and water will be taken up by this particular green leaf which already have chlorophyll in it. On the other hand, the oxygen and glucose will be formed after the process, which will be released out of the plant body. So what exactly the process is? So let's get into it again, that we have this particular green plant which is full of chlorophyll. It will going to absorb water from the soil through the roots, and on the other hand, carbon dioxide is basically the gas which we are getting from the atmosphere, sunlight from the sun, and as a result of the process, once the whole thing is done, we are getting sugar as the main product and oxygen as the byproduct, means it is the secondary product, it is not the prime product. So, what exactly are the things we require for the process? We require 4 things: sunlight, which we'll get from sun, water and minerals, which we'll get from the soil, and how the plant will going to get it? By the process of absorption. The plant will going to absorb water from the soil. This is what we have done in the irrigation as well. Anyways, carbon dioxide, as we have discussed, it is a part of the atmosphere, so from there we will get it. Chlorophyll, that is present inside the leaf only. Now, what are the products that we have? We have 2 products, that is, one is glucose, and of course, if it is you can say everything is being collected inside the leaf, then of course the final product will also be collected inside the leaf only. On the other hand, when we talk about the oxygen, just like carbon dioxide, it is the main space, or you can say the main location where carbon dioxide belong is atmosphere. Similarly, oxygen is also the gas which belongs to atmosphere, so it will be released there. So, that is how the process of photosynthesis is. Now, what exactly happens is, gradually we will be looking into certain things like making things easier, and writing the equations is also that kind of process which makes the work easier. Now, these equations are written in 2 formats. One is word equation and the other one is symbol equation. In case of word equation, we are going to write only the important aspects of the process and only the important products, nothing else. We are not going to use any kind of helping verb or any kind of other word which is not necessary. As if, like, if we are going to look into this particular word equation, I can straight away say this thing, that this particular equation is saying this thing, that carbon dioxide, water are going to react, and they are going to react in the presence of light and chlorophyll. Now, at the end of the process, they are going to give us glucose and oxygen. And when the same thing is represented in the form of symbols, it becomes symbol equation. Okay. So, what exactly over here means? That carbon dioxide will going to have a specific symbol. For addition, we have a symbol of plus. For subtraction, we have a symbol of subtraction like this. Similarly, for carbon dioxide, we have a symbol, that is CO2. For water, we have H2O. For light and chlorophyll, we are not using any symbol for the time being. And in case of glucose, it is C6, H12 and O6. On the other hand, for oxygen, the symbol becomes O2. Now, one thing I would like to add up here. These symbols are specific. So, if you want to learn the symbols, you have to learn them as it is. You cannot make your own symbols randomly. So, make sure if you are learning the symbols, you have to learn it properly, else it will become wrong. And a better option is to learn the word equation first and then moving towards the symbol equation. Now, this is completely on you, that what exactly you want to learn, whether the word equation or the symbol equation. Both have equal relevance and importance, of course. Okay, so let's get into the process a little more so that we have the complete idea about the process. Now, first of all, what we are going to do is, we are going to look into the importance of chlorophyll. I know just right now we have done the concept of chlorophyll, that it is present inside the leaves and it is providing the green color to the leaves. But apart from providing green color to the leaves, it has the important process or function of trapping the sunlight, means it will going to absorb all the sunlight. Like if I am going to ask you to stand in the you can say in the open area where huge sunlight is available, or you can say huge light is available, and I ask you to absorb all of that light, will you be able to do that? I don't think so, because I can't do that. In fact, none of the humans can do that. Yeah, we do absorb a little amount of sunlight for betterment of our body, better development of our body. But we cannot absorb the sunlight as a huge amount so that we can perform the process of photosynthesis inside our body. But plants can do this thing with the help of this particular pigment called chlorophyll. Now, we have discussed this thing that leaf has chlorophyll, and we have discussed this thing that everything will be you can say everything will be coming up to the leaves, and on the other hand the glucose will also be available only on the leaf, only inside the leaf. That means that the green leaves are basically the food factory or the kitchen of plant, just like our kitchen. That is the place where all the sources or resources with which we can cook our food are available, including gas, including the stove or induction, including the different kind of utensils, spices, the raw material for the food, everything. And in fact, once the food is cooked, we will be keeping the food there only. Only we will be bringing it to the dining table once we need it or once we are eating it. But over here, what is happening? They don't have such kind of things like dining tables, but yes, they do have a concept like kitchen, and that particular place is basically the green leaves of the plants. Now, what happens is that you are going to eat food at a time, and after that you will not be having it every single minute in the day, but you need the constant energy. So how will you going to compensate that particular process? For that, our body has a specific feature of storing the glucose, and similar process is there in case of plants as well. That what it will going to do is, it will going to make extra glucose which will not be going to be used by the plant body instantly. So what it will going to do is, it will going to store that glucose in a specific form that is known as starch. Now this starch will going to provide the energy to us. How? Because this particular starch gets stored in different parts of the plant, like in case of mango, in case of cauliflower. Now what exactly these things are? We know this thing that mango is a fruit. Now do you know this thing that cauliflower, what we call as vegetable, is actually a flower of the plant. On the other hand, in case of carrots, we have they are known as roots. Potatoes, they are basically the underground stem, means they are a type of stem. On the other hand, like cabbage, they are basically type of leaves. And when we talk about the other type, that is seed, that is pomegranate. So it is basically the different parts of the plant in which the starch gets stored in it. So what exactly these things are, that I have shown to you. Mango, carrot, pomegranate, cabbage, cauliflower, potato, they all are basically stored form of glucose, and once we eat them, it get inside our body and it will be stored there so that we can use it whenever we require it. So now this is the end of the video, and I am sure about this thing that by now you all would be agreeing to my first statement that photosynthesis is very, very important process, because it is not only providing us food in different forms, it is also providing us oxygen, which is very, very important for us. So till then, keep learning, stay safe, and don't forget to like to this particular video, share this video as much as possible, and subscribe to the channel. I will see you in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.